We're going to be performing fire hydrant glute abductions. The initial position is your hands are right under the shoulders. I want you to depress and engage your lats, and your knees are right under your hips. During this exercise, we're focusing on a side glute. We're focusing on abduction. You want to make sure that you drive your toes into the ground. And then what we're doing, we're going to try to lift the knee up, but slowly focus just on your knee until you get to the end range. When you get to the end range, you cannot go any further and you feel disengaged, then you can lift the leg fully and hover it. And then you bring it back down, plant it fully, and put the knee down. The thing is, we want to make sure that the hips stay fully squared up. So by only lifting the knee first, you are able to keep the hips squared up, feel this engagement, and only then lifting up, you're creating a sternal rotation and abduction at the same time. The typical mistake people make, they overarch their lower back when they're lifting it and they're shifting the weight. So now they're using hip flexors way more and they never target their adductors and external rotators to the full capacity. Focus on squeezing the glutes and lifting the knee first and trying to drive the heel back before you actually lift off the foot fully. Notice how squared up she is and she can really target the side of her glute. If you're struggling to keep your hips squared up, you can use a ball or a yoga block against the wall. It will help you with keeping your hips squared up and it will allow you to engage it. Another important cue you can use is you can drive your heel back as you're externally rotating and lifting. That will help you intensify the contraction and you won't use your hip flexors. Once you get good at the body weight, you can progress to the bend. The first, learn to do just external rotation and then bringing it back. And then after that, you can lift the knee and the toes at the same time to get more range. And then you can progress it even further to go and hold it at the top for 3 to 4 seconds while stabilizing your hips and then bringing it back. The most important part is making sure when you're performing this exercise, you have your hips squared up and your core engaged. We don't want to overarch your lower back or do too much hip flexion when you're trying to do lift-offs of your leg. I hope that helps. Stay fit.